So, good afternoon. This is another edition of the Amazing Author Catalog. We've got the books today. I am excited to have our only adult male author join us today, Mr. Mike Gammage. He was the only courageous man who wrote who wanted to join us. I actually was reaching out to men specifically, tagging men, calling men, like join the catalog, but for some reason they weren't ready to take that deep dive. But I am hoping as we move forward and the catalog grows that we will get some more men to join the catalog. So just introduce yourself, Mike, and share a little bit about your book to get us started.
Yeah, so I appreciate, first of all, thank you for having me on. I super appreciate sharing your platform with me. I'm grateful to be a part of the Amazing Author Catalog as well. So I just want to say that my name is Mike. Again, Mike Writes for Kids. I do have our debut book, The Dreamlighters Go to Space. It's available everywhere, particularly on the Amazing Author, amazingauthor.com. Uh, and so yeah, the gist of the story is we're teaching kids about jobs in the community that we don't always talk about. And we started this is a series of books, and so we started the series with them going to space. And what we'll do is we do is highlight jobs like engineering and meteorology that we don't always talk about, and let them know that those are also a part of this process to get to space. We always talk about the astronauts, but we don't actually talk about the other jobs that go hand in hand with that. And so that's the main and just again the gist of the book.
I like that. That was cool. That was a cool choice. And I read the book, but I didn't realize like, okay, this was an intention on had a
Yeah.
meteorologist in there. So you keep saying we. Who's we?
But yeah, so my wife and I actually we are uh, I'm one half and she's the other half of Mike Writes for Kids LLC. We do own our publishing house. We're in the process of getting it registered, trademarked. And then from there, we have the second book of the series coming out. She's actually going to be the author of the next book because she has experience in that particular field, which is going to be firefighting.
I love it. I love it. We have a firefighter book in the
I
catalog.
saw that. Yeah, and it's
I should
beautiful too,
connect. We should connect you two. I mean, those two. All
for
right. So
sure.
that's cool. I love it. You know, I definitely am married, so I definitely love the husband and wife partnership. Let's get this coin together. Let's encourage people together. Let's uplift each other. So shout out to you and your family. I love
Thank you.
All right. So, like I was saying before, when I started the catalog, it was not my intention for it to be 91% Black female. That's who answered the call. Before it was curated, I wanted to be a place where the hidden authors and the hidden stories had opportunities to shine. So that's what it's all about. So it's great to support so many Black women. I am unapologetically a proud Black woman, but I wanted my vision to include men. I wanted my vision to include different races and cultures. So, like I said, hopefully it grows. And I'm saying that on this video so people can hear it and know that that wasn't the intention. We are
Yeah,
what we have, but we want more men like Mike,
yeah. Now it's all good.
you know? So you got it when you
Yeah, I like being a pioneer.
men. I'm
I'm
we
cool
keep,
with that.
yeah, when
I've
you
cornered the market.
other male authors, you got to let them know there's something cool going on over here. They're not accepting new applications right now, but stay connected.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
All right. So, Mike, outside of being an author, what is your profession?
Yeah, so I'm actually a dental assistant by trade. I'm not currently doing that right now. When the pandemic started, I took a step back because my daughter, she was born in 2020, and so we didn't, everybody didn't trust daycares and stuff like that, and so I chose to work from home. So now I work from home. I work for LabCorp.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, and so I work as a billing specialist there. And so yeah, but like I said, I am a dental assistant by trade, certified as well, nationally certified, and so that is my actual skill.
So, does everybody in the family have pearly whites?
You already know. I don't play about that.
I've been crazy about their teeth. All
I don't
right.
play.
So, I want to do a few icebreaker questions. That's lighten the mood a little bit right here.
Yeah.
Your two main characters are Kayla and Maya. Who are Kayla and Maya?
So yeah, Caleb and Maya are essentially our kids. We just wanted to protect their identity, of course. But They represent two children and any two children in any household who are just inquisitive about how things work and aspire to be something, And so one night they were just talking about going into space and that's kind of how how the book actually started. And then
Okay, so this really happened in
that's
your household.
yeah, for sure. The kids are always talking about different stuff. And so, it was one of those things where I wanted to figure out a way to make jobs cool to them that we don't, that we don't always talk about, you know what I mean? And so also to let them know that, there's plenty of things to do out here, you know what I'm saying? Just because, like I said, I am a dental assistant. I know a lot of times when people come into the dentist, they assume that I'm the doctor or they assume that I'm going to clean their teeth. And, just have to let people know that there are levels to any
Right,
profession. So
right.
this is a way that we want to do that.
So if Caleb and Maya could have one item from Earth to take with them on the space adventure, what do you think they'd take?
Uh, if Caleb could take something, he'd probably take a football. And then Maya, she'd probably take her baby lion.
I love
She,
it.
yeah, she got a stuffy, fluffed Simba that she's been keeping with her since birth. Yeah.
So you're a dental assistant, you're a billing officer with LabCorp, you're an author, you're a husband, and you're a father. So be honest, what's more challenging, writing for kids or convincing them to eat vegetables?
Actually, my kids are pretty into vegetables for the most part. Tomatoes, Deuce don't like tomatoes. Caleb doesn't like tomatoes. So, but as far as like, I think it's probably more challenging to write for them now because I'm pretty good with like sauteing their vegetables to make them, a little tasty and
Or
stuff
cook
like that.
too. You add that to the resume.
Yeah, yeah, I do. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie about that. So yeah,
Yeah.
the,
So writing was more challenging. I didn't expect that. I thought she was gonna say veggie. And my son is 13 and he a pain in the butt when it comes to vegetables.
and
Um,
look, I told them they're not gonna grow. Y'all not gonna eat these vegetables. So.
I wish almost my height. And I don't know if you know, Mike, I'm 5'11" and he's only 13. He's already up here. Um,
Yeah,
did
I
you
can tell you was tall too.
did you test your stories out on your kids or did you just go with your inner child?
I definitely test everything with them, to be honest. Just because they're in the target range that
Oh,
we're looking to hit. So we go over everything with them. We practice at a super before any type of performance or read aloud or anything like that. I look to practice with them, get their feedback. They've heard it so many times, but they're so supportive that they're always like. And I have to tell them like, you can chill, bro. It's not that bad. But no, man, I definitely run everything by them, and they're just like super supportive and a big help.
that's awesome. That's awesome. All right, so last icebreaker question. Let's say your children's book gets turned into a movie. Who plays the genie?
And so if it's a live action movie, hmm, I don't know. That's a good question though, actually. Because I don't really know too many child actors right now. So like,
Is the genie a child? I thought the genie was an adult.
no, he's like he's a little bit older than Caleb.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'd probably have him, I'd definitely have him be a child for sure.
Okay. All right. So you gotta think about that one. If you think of it,
Yeah,
you gotta let us know
that's a
who.
good question. I always think about animated, but I haven't gotten into the live action yet. So that's a good way.
For
To
our
do
book, The Amazing Way First Adventure, my son came up with that story, so we have that
it.
similar background. And initially I thought it was gonna be merged in a series and different books and stuff until he broke up with me. So so the more but I used to think about those type of things, like how
I
cool.
mean, you can still spin the block. He gotta be a kid first, and then
Yeah,
once he
and
actually get old enough,
so they're
he
fighting for
gets
their
the money.
autonomy and identity and peer.
Yeah. You gotta let him be a kid first, but he'll probably spin the block.
Yeah, so that's a good thing about books, right? They don't expire. We always will have the ownership and things like that. So that's cool. All
Yeah.
righty, so let's get back into the pages. So some of the things that I wrote about your book, Mike, I write that some of the attributes that I enjoy. I feel like that it's action and adventure. On top of it being a science-based book, there is a lot of imagination in it. So I think kids are really going to gravitate to that with great illustrations. And I
Thank
like that there's a sibling experience. So, because some books highlight just girls, some books highlight just boys, but I love the female sibling experience in your book. And then I love the twist because I feel like the kids started off as going on to the adventure to kind of being the heroes. Was that the intent?
Yeah,
Did I pick up on that right?
100%. Yeah. So, thank you for all of that. We actually were very intentional in working with our editor. I wanted it to be one of those stories, that could last a lifetime. And so we went out and we found a professional editor, and so she challenged us in that way. She was like, you know, people love a story arc and character arc, and so we wanted it to be interactive because when I do perform it actually help the children that are participating to interact as well. So like I'll put um just for full transparency, there's a part where they're like looking for a bit in the story, and so I take like little aluminum pieces that look like a bit. I make them into a screw and I put them out and before the kids come in or whatever. And I'll just have them like, search for it to kind of help them, you know what I mean? And then we have like we just wanted to put a lot of interactive parts, even with the countdown. So that way the kids won't, kids fall asleep, kids get bored real easily. And so we wanted to make sure that, there's highs and lows. Not everything is, peaches and cream.
Yeah. So I like that. I love that you have brought your story to life. Like you said, it's not just a book, it's an adventure, and your author showcases builder experience. So any authors that's watching, that's a tip. He just gave you guys a little masterclass on how to make your book more engaging. And any
Yeah.
teachers who purchase Mike's books, then he's telling you make sure you keep his book lively. So I like that. I like that. You did something that I have considered, and I think I said this to you before, but I haven't pulled the trigger. I haven't been kind of led to go there yet. But
Yeah.
Kickstarter campaign to write your first book. So tell me why that seemed to be a good fit for you and how that helped.
Yeah, so Kickstarter was amazing. What when I first started the process, I didn't know how I wanted to do it. I didn't know much about the book game at all, and so I did a lot of research, called around to a lot of different places. I was looking to either go traditional or indie, and so after doing all the research and getting all the information for the actual process itself, I reached out to someone I knew, and they were saying that it looks like the only thing you need is funding at this point. And so from there, it was like it's kind of like a no-brainer because I wanted to retain my publishing and own it. Obviously, we want to scale in the future, but we wanted to start off that way we could present things, you know what I mean, and with a leverage as well. But all of that to say, we started Kickstarter because, like I said, the hurdle was funding, and so Kickstarter allowed us to uh, run a pre-order campaign. We were able to build out rewards for those who supported us. So the good thing about Kickstarter is you get things back for what you pledge. So it's not just like GoFundMe where people are openly pledging and looking to help you fund. Kickstarter, we set the tiers up to where $10 you get a digital reward. You get an ebook. You get the we had sight words, coloring pages, and finger puppets that we also went along with it. And then as the tiers went higher, we went into 25. You get a book, a physical copy of the book with the actual I call them side orders. When then we also went and we got excuse me, we went and got glow in the dark stickers. Glow in the dark stickers because that was perfect because the nightlight itself would glow in the dark, and that was one of the incentives. And so we also added in merch, t-shirts and things like that. So the higher you go, the more things you would retain back. And it also helped us to create a landing page. So that way, when we were talking about things, people had an actual website that was clickable that they can go to and that was trusted because we were still building it. So for those that didn't know us, we wanted it to be in a third party where it was trustworthy. And so you were able to go to Kickstarter, check out everything, check out the layout, see what our mission was. And at the very beginning, shout out to Tiffany Simmons.
Mhm.
Her book is What Do We Miss? She actually had helped me upgrade my page. Told me that it works better if you have a video and you're telling people what you're looking to do, and just introducing yourself to the world. And so we laid everything out on there, and we were able to transition once we had the goal 5,000, and it's set for 30 days. So Kickstarter, I don't want to get too long-winded into this, but Kickstarter is all or nothing. So if you don't make your goal, you have to send all the money back, or the money goes into a holding place, and so you don't get the money out the gate anyway. But if you don't make your goal, it just goes back to everyone, or it never comes out of their account. And so we ended up making the goal in 2 weeks. We ended up
Nice.
funding over about $1,000. We made about 6,000. And so from there, we were able to transition. We were able to build up an email marketing. We were able to just build out our marketing campaign altogether, because we were able to promote that for about a couple months until that was open for about a month, and then we had I think about 2 months to actually fulfill. And so that was a part of our campaign, and then it allowed and people watched us grow that campaign, successfully fund it and deliver on it. And so it built that trust and also that muscle memory for myself as well. So that to know, like, when we go into each book, we have to build up a marketing campaign and, make sure that our website drives traffic and everything like that.
All right, so Mike just gave the aspiring writer a lot to go with. I hope you guys are taking notes. If you're not, rewind it and write it down because I think that was very helpful because there are some authors or aspiring authors who haven't wrote the book, who haven't published the book because of funding, right? So I
Yeah.
think that kind of takes that fear away and empowers more people to become published authors. So thanks for sharing that. I'm still, considering
No, it's all good. You
what
got my
am I
line, so
going to do?
definitely let me know if you need any help with anything for
So let
sure.
me ask you one other question in regards to that. Were all of your, and I don't even know, so are the donors anonymous to the project or you know who they are, right? Because you said you had an email list.
Yeah, I knew who they were, because once you go in, you have to kind of set up the information. Now
Okay.
you could
I
donate
asked that
anonymous.
'cause was all your donors people you knew, or did you have a lot of unknown donors?
I did have some unknown donors, because there are people who are just in tune with Kickstarter, and so I had some that would like donate 500, just not necessarily anonymously, but they weren't looking for anything back. They just were there as supporters.
Oh, that's
And so yeah, and so that's a part of it as well. And I did a lot of research on Kickstarter, figured out how I could try to get the marketing out there to those who I didn't know. I didn't do like a major marketing budget and things like that, but it did help to introduce us to some people we didn't.
okay, awesome. All righty. What else do you want the viewers to know about the Dreamlighters Go to Space that we did not cover?
I'd just like for them to understand that we didn't cover that these are. I kind of lightly covered it. That this is the first of a series. They're all career-based books. We're actually we have the series under the title The Little Careers Universe. And from there, we want to, I told you earlier, we're going to go into a fire station where we highlight the other jobs that are in the fire station outside of just firefighting, like dispatchers and stuff like that. And from there, we'll go into the police department. And we like to go into various jobs and things like that. So if I definitely would like everyone to at least follow us, if nothing else, so that way you can watch the journey, maybe give your insight. We are very, very interactive in this next book, as far as like not just with reading it, but with our characters. We've actually used some character references as well. I know some actual firefighters, and so we've got them in there as well. And so, if you like our story, you like what we do, tell a friend to tell a friend, and then also reach out to us if you think that your job is worthy of being highlighted. You'd love to be highlighted, just reach out to us.
Awesome. So Mike, give them your social media handles.
Yeah, everything is Mike Writes for Kids, and that's all spelled out, and that's Mike Mike WRITES Kids. Um, Mike Writes for Kids on TikTok, Instagram, Mike Gammage on Facebook. Yeah, definitely reach out to us. We'd love to.
All right, guys. So that wraps up this edition of the Amazing Author Catalogs. We've got the books with author Mike Gammage. I'm gonna pull up on y'all, you and wifey at some point in North Carolina.
All right, say less, say less.
So that's one of our places to visit soon. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you trusting me with your work. I appreciate your wife, and supporting you in being a part of the Amazing Author Catalog and be amazing.
Thank you so much, and you have a blessed rest of your day. And thank you for allowing me to be a part.
All right, you too. Keep writing.